Hey everybody, this episode is brought to you by Claude AI. Shout out to them. We thank them for sponsoring this episode. And now, on to the show. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Make It Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Barkley.
Ooh, look at that. A lot of changing of intonation. It seemed like some change in the passion. You know, I like that opening, man. So I'm gonna open very similarly. You like that? I said similarly. I like putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable. And I will say that I, too, am the host of the Make It Podcast. Welcome. It's good to have you here.
It is, and I've changed my facial hair for you. My face is naked. It is beardless. And I'm a guy who looks good in a beard. I look good. I'm like Daril over here. I look good in a beard. Yeah. So, now you did get a comment on social media. Well, it was YouTube, and I think that counts. So the dude was like commenting. He called your chin like a flavor saver. What is that? He said there was a guy, Daril, that just commented on one of our videos. Said, what about that guy? What about Nick's flavor saver? I was like, what about it? Is there a question there? Is there a question?
I know.
Is there more?
It's highly inappropriate. That's just think about this. His comment was highly inappropriate and hilarious all at the same time. So I love it. I appreciate that, and thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, very much.
Yeah, keep it rocking. I just rubbed a lot of flavor right there. Per usual, on this podcasting journey is producer Papa Bear guiding us along the way, and our esteemed guest back for a second time, Daril Fannin. Daril, please say hello to everybody.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me back. I guess not welcome. Thank you so much for letting me join you guys. I'm stoked.
I'm stoked too, because you've had a lot of recent success and you're here to talk about it. We're here to celebrate it. But for those who don't know who you are, I'm just going to read a quick bio, if that's okay with you.
That'd be great.
So let's do it. Daril Fannin is the founder and CEO of Kino Studios, an executive producer, writer, and Army veteran, shout out to you, who has created and produced film and television projects for major studios, including Netflix and Disney. Combining Hollywood experience with a passion for innovation, he launched Kino, that's Kino, it's German for film, to help filmmakers protect, distribute, and monetize their work while building a more efficient and equitable future for independent storytelling. I love that. I know you do too, Nick and Papa Bear. Most recently, Daril is at the helm of the film Undertone that first gained attention at the Fantasia International Film Festival, generating early genre buzz before being acquired. Here we go.
Whoop.
Drum roll.
Let's say it.
Can we get a drum roll?
Yeah, you can push the button. I know you got a drum roll.
There it is. Before being acquired by A24. So congratulations to you, my friend. That is huge news. That is worthy of coming back. I should just mention that A24 brought the film to Sundance Film Festival, and that sort of always builds more momentum within sort of the horror space and the indie space. It's still, indie film's best festival. And the international trajectory reflects Kino's growing presence within the global marketplace. Congrats to you, my friend, and welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I sound so cool when you say it like that, dude.
Man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, we're not making stuff up here, guys. This is all the truth. So you sound good with the truth, my friend.
That you're gonna make me cry, man. That's amazing. I feel like, selling the A24 is one of the luckiest things. I think it's, it was the dream for us. And many probably thought it was a pipe dream. And I feel so grateful. And I just want to say shout out to Ian, our director, because he called it, dude. He felt it in his bones and like, that man is connected to a higher power, or a darker force. I'm not sure which. But
Maybe both.
yeah, maybe
Shout out
both,
to you,
actually.
Ian. Yeah, shout out to Ian, and I think in a lot of ways, and this is no exaggeration, no sort of laying it on thick. That is like what you've accomplished is essentially the dream of like most indie filmmakers today, which is to make a film, to be part of a film that gets acquired by A24, which to me is a marketing and distribution powerhouse that I think is sort of the envy of every large studio
Yeah,
and every young person, just every I don't even wanna put an age on it, but every film-loving person recognizes A24 as one of the small handful, of companies that really know how to position film, really know how to earn, box office from the way they market and distribute film, and they are a high taste distributor and buyer of film. So, if your film gets bought by A24, I think the general consensus is like, it's a great film because A24 has such great taste.
No,
I
100%, 100%.
Yeah, I think, they are incredible. The thing that you said that really resonated with me is they have done such a great job of promoting our film. This was a tiny little movie. Like, this film had no business being in 2,500 theaters in today's market from most people's perspective, and they knew that they had something, and they put the full weight of their marketing team behind it, and they did things that were truly authentic to the film that I really loved. Like, we were dropping content at the witching hour at 3 a.m. consistently, which is such a strong theme of the film. And those little details, I think, went such a long way. Most of our strategy was digital. We were really making waves in terms of the noise that we were getting across Instagram and TikTok. And I think, like, word of mouth is still the way to go, and they knew how to generate that conversation, and they did such an incredible job with the rollout. And again, I feel so very fortunate to have been a part of this journey and to have worked with them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah,
I
Nick.
think the big studios are like, Jack Nicholson's Joker, and A24 is like Michael Keaton's Batman, and
Yeah.
they're over there like, "Where do they get these wonderful toys?" You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
"Wait,
Well done.
how are they doing this? How are they?" And because it's like Daryl said, it's like they live with the content, they become part of the story, they live with the creators. It isn't just something they're selling, right? It's not
Yeah,
like, let's just hire the marketing company and use the weight of intellectual property to
Yeah,
sell a bunch of seats, right? It's like, no, we
yes,
actually want things that people are going to enjoy, not just pay to see. And
yeah,
we want things that people are going to enjoy and tell their friends about it. So
yes,
our goal isn't necessarily to get everybody in the seat on day one. It's getting the right people in the seats on day one, so they tell their friends for day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in theater 2,500.
yeah,
yes,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
that's how I see it, and that's why I think we all love A24 for that.
Yeah. Dude, they released our film on Friday the 13th. So I was in Austin, actually.
Nice.
I was there for South by, and on Friday the 13th, went out with a bunch of friends and got to watch this movie. I watched it on Slaughter Lane or Slaughter Drive, whatever it is, the
Yeah,
Alamo
yeah, yeah.
Draft House there. And then when I walked out, the craziest thing, I even took a screenshot. I'll have to find it, but I took a screenshot because my credit card bill, when I finished it, the credit card total was $666 even.
No!
I'm not even, hold on, I'm gonna find this.
Wow.
It was such an insane thing. I was like, yeah, I don't know if you
Oh,
can see
okay,
this
for
here,
those just
but,
listening, Daryl is pulling up his digital
Wow.
receipt, and it is true. His
Dude.
receipt is $666 and 0 cents.
I
And
was like,
0
I
And
cents.
am
0 cents.
possessed by Abazu right now. It freaked me out, dude. I was like, I don't know. And this, again, back to Ian being in connect with this supernatural thing. It
The
was wild. And we had an incredible opening weekend. I think we did over $9 million on
good
on
grief.
a $500,000 budget film for our opening weekend. And I'm still pinching myself. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
amazing.
I
That's
want to talk
amazing.
about that. I want to talk about that concept later in the conversation about budget
Yeah. Yeah.
and box office because there does have to be some reality checking. I think that like happens just for the sake of like the indie filmmaker, so they have the right idea going into some of these things. But I'm trying to remember the name of the Papa Bear. Will you look up the Zendaya movie that came out? She was starring with Robert Pattinson. That I
Oh, the
think
drama?
the drama.
Yep.
My dude, yeah.
So take that movie for
Thanks,
example.
Daryl.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Take that movie for example. Okay. One of the things I learned in college was that the most powerful marketing you can get is word of mouth. It's considered the holy grail. And
Mhm.
so what A24, I'd say Neon does that, Blumhouse does it. It's just proof that if you look across the landscape, there is abundance, there's space for everybody. Because if you look at Neon, A24, Village Roadshow, the new Orion, Blumhouse, they all manufacture word of mouth differently. And they
Yeah.
all have a different vibe. They make different choices. So don't get discouraged. Like there's no space for you guys. There is space for everybody to do something a little bit differently. But the drama really didn't open very well. And then people went to go watch it. And then it started making money because of that word of mouth.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of thing that happens when you have a great taste choice
Mhm.
and then people start talking. Okay.
Momentum.
And what happened there is they took a big risk on marketing, right? They didn't show you any of the movie.
They
So
didn't
you
show
thought the movie was about one thing and it was about something else.
it was such I've never been, like, rugged in the best way, because I've been to movies where I thought I was going to see
Yes.
something, and then I was like, "What the is this?"
Yep.
It's
And then
one of my
this
favorite
film.
movies of the year.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it was incredible. I think the way that the pacing of that film, like that is a masterclass in how
Yeah.
to tell a story and keep rapt attention. I think the editing style was so very unique and it shifted in so many ways. But I sat down and I thought I was seeing one thing, and then the story that I got was better than expected. It was better than promised, and I don't know how often that happens as well,
Yeah. True.
Um,
True.
Truly an incredible film.
Yeah, but guys, my
It's one of
favorite
those that'll be
part, Chris,
forgotten
about
about,
this
Nick, a little bit.
whole yeah, but my favorite part about this whole conversation is just the way that Chris says Zendaya's name. He always put it's crazy because
Well,
I was thinking
what I say?
about this the
Give me how I
other
said it.
day. You always put an H in there that doesn't exist. I'm like, her name is not Zendaya.
I think it is Zendaya.
He's taking it
Zendaya.
out
Oh,
of his name.
it's Zendaya.
Yeah.
It's Zendaya. But for me, she's Zendaya.
Exactly. Because it's like Kevin Hart says, right?
She was very
Back
special
in the
for
day
you.
when he was coming out, he's like,
Yeah.
say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
when you say something with your chest, you got to get that in there. So Chris is like,
Listen.
Zendaya.
Listen, Nick.
Yeah.
My mom used to always say I'm like 1% Cherokee. So I got to put that ha at the end.
You're right.
Okay? Like my people. You
Yeah.
see? I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
Daryl, I don't know if that's true.
I don't
That's
know
just
what
something
that's
black
about.
people say. That comes from Reconstruction.
You know,
Like when
It's your
black people
cheekbones,
were
bro.
marrying
That's
Native
what it is.
Americans.
If your
I grew up
cheekbones, if you can see your cheekbones, you got to have Cherokee
Yeah,
in
you
your
got the high
family.
cheekbones.
That's
You're you got some you got some Native American.
that's right.
You got some Cherokee in you.
I feel like the ha thing reminds me of my Pentecostal childhood upbringing. And the Lord said ha. That was very much Zendaya ha.
Yep,
I
exactly.
don't know if you just gave Daryl nightmares or what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
flashback.
I like he sounded a little bit like Dick Gregory for a second there too.
exactly. I was gonna say
With that
that, Chris.
ha.
That's the
How?
next thing Dick Gregory.
Yeah. That's very good. So tell everybody like what's next for Undertone. Like what's happening next?
Dude, well, I don't know if this will have happened when this releases yet or not, but on June 26th, we are going to be on HBO and we're getting our release there. So we are stoked about that.
Put that on the
And
screen, Kate.
Say that again?
And the timing.
No, I was talking
Well,
to
yeah,
Kate.
he does that. He talks to
Yeah.
editor Kate and just doesn't let people know that he's doing that. So then people are like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what? I'm not Kate, bro. I'm
Yeah,
Nick. What are you talking about?"
yeah.
She's not even here.
Yeah.
She's
She's
But the
always
here.
there.
timing
She's
might be
everywhere.
perfect, Chris. The timing might be
Yeah.
perfect. You hear that? The
It will
26th.
be.
June
Yep.
26th. I love that. I think the timing could absolutely be perfect, based on when this thing is going to drop, Daryl. So that's again the 666 or whatever you want to
Yep.
call it working for you. It's all lining up because I think the people are going to be able to like watch this episode and then go watch your movie the same
Dude,
day.
it's crazy because that is literally the date that it will drop. Like, just so
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's again, Abazoo, man. I'm telling you, this Ian, the whatever had possessed Ian has now possessed all of us. I'm convinced.
This is great. I can't wait to watch it. And before we go into audience polls,
Mhm.
I do want to just ask, this journey you've been on with Kino has been, and we just know like off camera, we follow you on social. Our first conversation, you talked about this. And guys, if you want to watch it, please go back. Just search for Daril Fannin's name and he'll come right up. Great episode. And there has to be these ups and downs. So I'm just curious, was there any moments where you lost faith? And how did you get through it? How do you, just for the audience sake, for
Yeah.
those struggling to make films right now, how did you get yourself through that?
Yeah, I think that is a great question, and I think transparently, I think that there are as many of those epic losses as there are wins, and likely many, 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 many more throughout my career. And I think that uh, the thing that I don't know how to quantify, but there's this thing within me that is ultimately resilient. And I just feel like if you are going to be an artist, you are on the journey of bouncing back. It is not a rocket ship where you are suddenly propelled into greatness and into the limelight. It is a series. You are a tennis ball, and you are
Yeah.
bouncing back up over and over and over again. And I think um, I think there were early on in my career a lot more of these kind of like devastating, "This is it, my career's over." In fact, I will never forget on the first show that we made, at one point, the line producer came out and was yelling at everybody saying, "This is gonna be the end of all of your careers." And I was like, "How
Oh
is
my
that
God.
helpful?" We're trying to solve a
Wow.
problem here.
Yeah.
Um, but, we were all under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
But I think there's always a moment where you're like, "Oh, shit. I don't know if this is gonna go the way that we think it is." And then usually after that, you'll catch a break. And if not, you'll grind it out until you do. And I think that's the thing. I feel fortunate that I've been in the industry long enough that as the negativity comes in, I recognize this is just another obstacle, another hurdle to overcome in the very, very long journey. Which I don't know if that directly answers your question or not, but
No,
I
it
think it's
does. But Chris,
yeah.
we're gonna play a little game here because I'm trying
Okay.
to figure out how connected all this crap is. So we were talking earlier. Chris was asking me about this book, right? So
Mhm.
oh,
it's The Creative Act: A Way of Being by
Okay, for
Rick
those
Rubin,
listening,
right?
Nick is holding the Rick
Yeah.
Rubin book, The Creative Act.
So I'm gonna try to do this, right? Where I'm just kind of like flipping. I'm gonna grab. Okay, I just opened it up and I want to see, what this thing says. Like, just take the book. 'Cause I told Chris, like, you could take this at any point in time and open it and it'll just have a moment, right? That
Mhm.
you'll be like, dang, I connect with that. And I want to see if this connects with you. It's literally just open it up.
Okay.
Just get
Playing a little game of chance.
and I don't know if this
It's
makes
the
any.
literature version of the
Yeah,
Magic 8 Ball that you
but
can now
but
currently get
I'm gonna
for
say it
$4.99
opened
at
up to
Cracker Barrel
page.
stores across the
Yeah,
nation.
it opened up to page 303.
okay.
Okay.
Right, so I don't know if 303
303 is
means anything.
weird. Okay, already.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay.
It says
Page 303.
sometimes it can be the most ordinary moment that creates an extraordinary piece of art.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel like I went and got my palm read and the palm reader basically just tells you what you want to hear a little bit. Or maybe I opened up Gemini or something. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I want to see
because Claude doesn't do
how
that.
does that connect with you? Again, sometimes
Yeah.
it can
Read
be
it
the
again,
most
Nick.
ordinary moment
Mhm.
that creates an extraordinary piece of art.
I love it.
I
Is it?
feel like Rick Rubin, that book, I cried multiple times when reading that book. I'm not joking. Like I was having some dark days in my creative journey. So, and that book,
Yeah.
really, and I actually just gave it to one of our investors, who is very much a creative at heart and has been, I feel like, stifling that a little bit. And I just gave that book to him right after Cannes. So I'm a big fan.
Daril, what are we talking about here? I
Yeah.
have the book right there. I just so you know, I had a different
Now
book there.
that's the
I
connection.
put
That's the
that book
connection.
there tonight for
That's
this
not always there,
conversation.
Daryl. I noticed it right away because the book he had there before, shout out to our friend Kevin Getz, was this
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
now and now he switched the book I'm not kidding. He switched the book just tonight, Daryl.
That's insane. And obviously we haven't, for those listening, we haven't talked about this. Like that is the most
We have not.
random circumstance and I love it. I look, these synchronicities, like and there's this line actually in Undertone that are that's kind of talking about this, where Nina Kiri, who's the lead actor, is listening, and there's these things that happen, and she's trying to explain away the craziness, and she's like, coincidences, like they're interesting because that's what they are, and she's so anti this
Yeah.
thing, and I, on the other hand, I see coincidences as little bits of magic. And
Yes.
Like the universe abiding, right?
yeah,
It is. It is, and that's it. And that's why I pointed to it. It's like now I was a believer already, bro. Like I already believed you when you showed us the receipt and you said all the things. I was already a believer, but then it was like, well, let me talk about this thing. I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
2 feet in, Daril.
Yep.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous, Nick. And I talk to people walking this walk every day, and there's a poem that I love to go to by Rilke, that basically just says, don't frighten people with your ambition, right? Like you can't like just go on your walk. You know you're going to have to go alone because
Yeah.
they're not going to understand. So all you're going to do is scare them, and all they're going to have is negativity for you that kind of is shrouded as advice,
Yeah.
right? Or as a taste of pragmatism or whatever the thing that they think they understand that they really can't understand. And so they can't take that with you. I really recommend that poem to anybody. And I'll have to put the name of it in the show notes because I don't know the name off the top of my head, but I have it like where I can find it in my notes at any point. And I just had a call yesterday, PB. Hour and a half conversation, creative I've known for a long time. I won't say any names. And he's like, man, how do you get negative people out of your life? Like, what's the strategy? Because like he has family members that basically told him, if you were good enough, you'd be famous already. And it's like, God
Yeah.
damn, that is a hard thing to hear from family. You know what I mean? Like that's not good.
Yeah.
Like you don't need like and what I thought of right away is the Rilke poem. Like, hey, just they need to don't talk to them about this stuff. They don't understand what you're doing. You
The,
can't
the,
take them with you.
the artist's journey is the hero's journey, right? And the people from the ordinary world are not expecting anyone to be able to survive in the upside down. And I think the
Yeah.
call to safety
Mhm.
is something that we all kind of battle with, and I think that's really actually poignant, and it's really tough when you don't have the support of your loved ones,
Yeah.
and the thing is, you're either crazy or you're right, and sometimes it's both, which I think is my case.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's great. There's a book, Chris, that I saw it many moons ago,
Mhm.
and independent creative, and it was like the crossroads between should and must.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Just that, like even if you
Mhm.
don't read the book, just that,
yeah,
right? And that's I think, Darryl, when you said that, like you have the call to safety, but as the hero's journey, it's the call to adventure. So
yeah,
I should be safe, but I must adventure.
yeah,
So how do you move forward with the adventure when you have all of these people who are calling you back to safety, either in a negative way, because I think that's what some people do. They'll do that negative thing, like you would be famous already, so why don't you be safe?
Yeah.
Focus
Yep.
on that. So it's
Yeah.
not negative that they dislike you, is that they don't understand the must part of the adventure.
Yes. Yeah.
And I would say the real thing to me for those naysayers is like I think there are a lot of people who convolute talent with success, and those things
Yes.
do not directly correlate. And I'm sitting here as a success, and I don't know if I'm that great of a talent. You know what I mean? Like I think that there are so many brilliant filmmakers that I know and I get to interact with, and I feel so very fortunate that I was ready and I had the opportunity and I was ready when that came and we were a part of this. But I think the thing that you have to do is keep swinging. Like you're never going to hit a home run if you put down the bat, and I'm not a
That's right.
sports guy. So that's as close to a sports analogy as I'm going to get.
No, dude, I've always said the same thing. You will, what is it? You will never score, but it's 100% of the shots you don't take. Soccer
Shots you
player,
don't
Oh,
right?
take.
yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
shoot, bro. You just got to shoot. Got
Yeah.
to keep
That's right.
shooting.
Absolutely. And Daryl, thank you for being so straightforward and sincere with that answer. That's a great way to wrap up Story is King. And now I hand it off to my partner in podcasting. Nick,
Yeah,
can you
man.
drop some audience polls on us, please?
Yes, I shall, and I've got one for today, and I think this was interesting because I was also doing a little bit of research on A24 and some of the critical reviews and how they fare with certain things. So let me get into
Hmm.
it. So the
Hmm.
audience
Yeah, yeah.
poll for today is: how much does Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic influence your summer movie choices? We got
Oh,
three options. Okay, so option one is a lot. I won't see a rotten film. Option number two, a little.
it's a
I
little bit
make
of a
my
double
own
entendre right there. It's
choices.
confusing, right, Phoebe?
Right,
Anyway, go
right,
ahead. Go
right,
ahead, Nick.
right. And number three, I'm gonna say none. Critics hate the movies I like. Okay,
Okay.
so those are our three options. So a lot, a little, none.
A
So I'll
lot, a
go,
little, none. Okay.
yeah. So I'll go in reverse order. Right.
Okay.
So we've got a lot, 13%.
Mm-hmm.
A little, 32%.
Mm-hmm.
None. Critics hate the movies I like, 56%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
so basically they're just like, yeah, 56% of the audience says, Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic doesn't influence what I watch. I'm good, bro.
Okay, Daryl.
What do you
Daryl,
guys
you
think about
first,
that?
then Nick, you second, and me and Papa will chime in last. But what do you think? Do you agree with the people, Daryl?
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I always check the Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't think I've ever let that affect my decision. I'm curious what the world thinks, but I also believe in informing my own opinions. So I think I'm in the majority here. And it's not that I don't think
Hmm.
that critics love some of the movies that I love. So
Yeah.
like that's the piece where I'd put a little asterisk here and say
Mhm.
like it's not necessarily about the critics, but what I recognize is that what's going to speak to me, what's going to speak to Papa Bear and Nick and Chris, like we might have very different opinions, tastes. My upbringing's weird as shit, man. If you're not, you know, Undertone spoke to me because of that crazy religious
Uh,
thing that sat underneath it, and then you're dealing with death, and like if you haven't had those lived experiences, you know, I know so many people who are like, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't find any of that shit scary.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, to have that personality, where you're not looking over your shoulder. Uh, yeah. So
But
I think
I also think too, like even if you're not scared of ghosts, like if you're watching a horror film, and we've done a few horror films, right, Nick, and like you still can like the story. Like the story can be great and make up for the fact that you're not going to be afraid of ghosts. Anyway, Nick, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking about this poll? You agree with the people?
Uh, it's an interesting one. So yes, I agree a little, right? So I agree because I'm in the same camp where I'm not checking for that. There was a
Yeah, you don't
time.
really like horror films, right? Like,
Well,
by the
horror
way,
films, but I'm just saying the
but
critics really is
but
more
yeah,
like,
okay,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I'm not looking for the critics because I never have, right? I'm me. I'm gonna watch what I'm gonna
Oh,
watch. I
okay.
like what I like. I've never been that way, right? But here's the thing: the weird thing about this poll is specifically about A24 because I was looking at it. I asked the question, right? I'm like trying to
Yeah,
find
yeah, yeah,
out
yeah.
what about A24? And it's like a large percentage of A24's most celebrated films score 90% plus on the tomato meter. In 2019, Rotten Tomatoes noted that
It's all just so silly. There actually be the
28
tomato meter.
listen,
You're like,
28 of A24's first
mhm.
77 releases had achieved 90% or higher. Many
I
of
ain't see.
A24's most
No.
acclaimed films score in the 95 to 100% range. So,
Damn.
when I look at that and I look at the, our poll, we're saying, nah, I'm not listening to critics. They don't like what I like. I mean, is that really true? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we
Right.
like all the A24 stuff, and A24 is doing fantastic with the
Yeah,
critics. So,
there's a good chance that that the movie you like, the critics liked as well. We
yeah.
have me and you, Nick. We have a very good publicist friend of ours that sort of ruined Rotten Tomatoes for me. Maybe not for you, but where she kind of, and this is definitely no shade to A24. I'm not saying they're doing this at all, but she's like, yeah, you can buy a review from Rotten Tomatoes. You can buy positive reviews from them, and I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna say her name, but, like, I'm like, "Really?" She goes, "Oh, confirmed, confirmed." I'm like, "Okay."
Mm.
Like, okay, so is it just like anything else where it's kind of a game that you play? And, I've always been a big Metacritic guy, like, where they're
Mhm.
aggregating and scoring. Now you could say, well, how is Metacritic scoring and aggregating these? Like, how are they assigning a score to a review? I think that's always been the problem with Metacritic, right? Like,
Yeah.
why was that review a 90 and the other one a 100 and this one a 50, and then you aggregate the score? But in general, within a range, you can say this is favorably, like critics are favorable to this film or not favorable to this film or whatever else. And I do, so shout out to Metacritic. I think they do a really interesting thing that's a little bit better than an IMDb review for sure. And then, competes pretty well with Rotten Tomatoes. But I think Rotten Tomatoes, what they've done is they've mastered distribution.
Yeah.
So they make it so much easier for everybody to find their review.
Yeah.
It's not difficult. Like, you can just go get the Rotten Tomato review. It's everywhere, and it just shows that they run their business well, and they spent money in the right places so that people can just find it. Like, it's easier than Letterboxd, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's the easiest review to get. And
Yeah, but here,
so I
Chris, I got. Here's my last point on this is that
Mhm.
these days, I'm wondering, like, are critics old people? And the reason,
Not
you know
on
what I'm saying?
hey, hey,
Listen,
not on
listen, listen.
Letterboxd.
Listen.
They're young on
The reason
Letterboxd.
the reason I'm asking is because, like, well, how do you critique a film these days? Don't you have to write something? You know what I'm saying? Young people don't write. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I ask my kid, I'm gonna ask my kids for real, like, do you know a critic? Do you know the name of a critic? Like, we used to know the names
No.
of critics, is my point,
Yeah,
and we
man.
trusted them because they were older than us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, they're worldly, they've seen a bunch of films, they've been part of the industry." Like, I get that, but now, do we have the respect to the kids? Do the kids, man, the kids. Do the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kids have a respect for critics? Or are they like, "Look, nah, they don't know what I like. They're not me. I can't connect with them." What do you think, Daryl?
You know what? I don't know if it's critics. Where I think they do this is through influencers, right? Like, when I think
Yeah.
about the people, it's still the word of mouth game, right? Like, that's what the
Yep.
original film critic was a written word of mouth reference that you could get. And I do think with
Yeah.
the buying of opinions, which is a thing,
Mhm.
I think that we really lost that. And so then what I think is the modern version of that is the film influencers. And there are people who, Cinema Joe, like, I believe if he loves a film, I believe he likes it. I don't think he's a sellout, and I think that's part of
Yeah.
the reason that he's got a following. And I would say that, so I think the modern version of that is an influencer, and to be a guy who gets paid to just watch movies and give an opinion. You know what I mean? Like, that's the
It's a
dream gig.
yeah. That's a great thing. I think there's a
Mm.
guy
Well,
on, X named Lon. I think his name's Lon Harris. Maybe I can't remember his last name, but If I find it, I'll give it to Kate and we'll throw it on the screen. But he does a lot of great movie reviews. And who's the guy who took over for Siskel and Ebert? Who's still he's like the most famous reviewer in the world to me, critic, I
Um,
should say. And I have a and I hate that I'm forgetting his name. I'm literally seeing his face right now in his glasses. And I have a lot of respect for him. I have PB. Maybe you can find that. I have a
Hey,
lot of
Chris, what
lot of
about that
respect
other
for him.
guy? What about the other guy you know? He does this thing called Film Brief.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Nick Bugs,
yeah, that
oh
dropping
yeah,
film
that guy.
brief.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movie review podcast series. Everybody should check out Film Brief. Nick does those, writes those. They're incredible.
Yeah.
They're incredible,
Thanks, man.
and
Appreciate
and
that.
and you'll love it. I will say this to end out this audience polls. I'll say this. I disagree with the poll because I tend to watch movies that critics like. And I think the reason why is because I'm a journalism major. I I care about writing and I know what goes into being a film critic. So before you can even be a respected film critic, your film history chops have to be impeccable, on point,
Yeah.
right? The second a critic gets called out for not knowing a thing he's or she is critiquing, their career's over. Like the pressure is enormous, enormous. So when a critic puts a real critic, like there's Travers, who people say, okay, is he really doing the critical intellectual thing? Maybe, maybe not. But he's made a whole big career, right, with Rolling Stone doing this. But in general, when they put the time into doing a concise and fair and balanced critique, that is just like a gift, man. Even if it's a bad review for the film, if it's done tastefully and fairly, with great writing and research on top of that, hey man, that's pretty good. It's a lot better than this sort of race to the bottom that we have now with influencers and
Yeah.
social media and things like that. So yeah, if a critic puts the time in and says this is good, I'm pretty likely to watch it, to be honest with myself about it. So yeah, fair.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, that's a good audience poll, Nick. I appreciate it. Thank you to the YouTube subscribers for voting on the poll.
Mhm.
Can't do the polls without the votes. So take this moment to honor and pay homage. To honor and pay homage to
To our
our sponsors.
sponsors.
Okay, we got to do it. We'll be right back with the show in just a minute. Hang tight. Hey, everybody. This episode is sponsored by Anthropic, the makers of Claude Pro. And let me just tell you firsthand, running a small business is no joke and requires all hands on deck. That's me, that's Nick, that's Papa Bear, that's even our interns like intern Miguel, that's editor Kate. Everybody's got to throw their hands in to make things work. And I am super thankful, and I know the rest of the team is thankful, that we have Claude AI as one of those hands as well. It's brilliant. Nothing eats more time, for example, than administrative work in and around content creation and social media management. Now with Claude AI, it's a breeze. We have put out hundreds of posts now using Claude AI and Cowork. It's been wonderful, right? You teach it your brand voice, you prompt it, you walk away. It's been amazing, right? Claude is the AI for minds that don't stop at good enough. And it's the collaborator that actually understands your entire workflow and thinks with you rather than doing everything for you, right? So it doesn't replace you, it thinks with you. So whether you're doing something like debugging code at midnight or strategizing your next business move, Claude extends your thinking to tackle the problems that matter. Now, we use Claude AI for the tedious jobs we don't want to do, all the way to the complex work we have to do. And look, like I said before, it just works. Doesn't skip steps, remembers what we like, rolls back to square one if needed. And that is so key. It never just takes an action you don't want it to take. That's one of my favorite things about it. It's really sure that you get the output that you want, the quality that you want, right? I've been using, as I mentioned before, Cowork brings Claude Code's agentic power to your desktop, so there's no terminal required and anyone can use it and have Claude to do real work. Point it to a folder on your computer and add connectors like Google Drive and Gmail. This is really powerful, by the way. Describe what you need and it handles the rest, like organizing files, which I've talked about before, building spreadsheets, drafting reports from scattered notes, right? You can queue up tasks and come back to finish work. That's one of the things I love about the new dispatch feature, right? Give it a task from your phone, and then you come back to your desktop and the work is done. Okay. So for problems worth solving, get started with Claude at Claude AI/make it. That's Claude AI/make it. And check out Claude Pro, which includes access to all of the features I mentioned in this read. One more time, that's Claude.ai/make it. And now back to the show. And we're back to the show. Shout out to Anthropic for being like the best sponsor ever with us for the entirety of 2026. Just a dope company doing dope things. And there is some confusion out there, Nick. There is some confusion. So it's been at least 10 people, listeners, followers, subscribers, people in our community, in our circle. They are confused. They are saying things like, how can you talk about making movies without AI and then be sponsored by an AI company? And I'm
Whatever, man.
like,
Don't do that. No,
I'm,
don't do
I'm,
that.
I'm
Don't do that.
like, I'm like, that's not the same thing at all. Like we, this happens all the time, right? Like you can understand why it can be useful over here while also doing something different creatively over here. Like you might use it to organize your files, but not use it to, act or be like a fake actor in your like that just doesn't that's not good filmmaking in general. So I just
Yeah,
want
it's
people to understand, to be clear, we've never said in any of our ad reads, go make your next film with Claude AI. It's like it's awesome. We've never said that. We're never going to say that.
Chris.
It's just a silly
I've been in
thing
this.
to try to conflate.
It is. I've been in this conversation too. I asked a filmmaker, like, just a legitimate question, just like,
Mhm.
they were making a film, they were like working on a bunch of different stuff, and I was like, have you ever considered, or how have you considered using AI
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
create alternate content, or to really do your help, support you in your marketing, to really push your stuff forward?
Support
And it
marketing.
was,
Great
bro, wait,
use.
wait. The pushback on just the idea of touching AI was so remarkable to me. I mean, it was like I
Yeah,
had committed a sin just by mentioning AI. I was like, I let them do their thing. I'm not going to fight that. If
yeah,
that's the way you roll, then that's fine. That's good for you, right? Stick to that. But it was so strong. The pushback was so strong. I was like, okay, well, sadly, if you're not willing to use this tool today,
yeah.
yeah, you're a little behind. You might not make it. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. It's like you gotta move from the broom to the vacuum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you just
Yeah, yeah,
Well, you
and I
don't
think,
have
look,
to. You don't have to, but it's your choice. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it could take
yeah,
you a very long time.
yes.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can still sweep.
Yeah,
100%, bro. You can still sweep. Like, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna fight that battle. It's not a battle for me to fight, right?
yeah.
But
No.
I'm just saying they were very opinionated
This is a
about
screenwriter who's
AI.
handwriting the script, you know what I mean? Like, more power to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
papyrus, this is
yeah.
ancient technology. Let's go back to the olden days.
Well, it's Nolan not using a cell phone or a computer, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah,
that works
yeah.
for Chris Nolan.
yeah.
There's one Chris Nolan, you can try it.
Everybody
it's
around
not.
him is using cell phones and
But
computers. That's
yeah,
why.
exactly. They're just letting him know, he's got a small fiefdom, like maybe following him around and keeping him up to date on everything. But like, here's the thing: like, if you go that route and you don't get the result that Chris Nolan got, did you fail? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't really add up. And there's also just this sort of moral confusion of, okay, if I use an AI tool to do a marketing campaign for a short film or for one of the boards I'm on or something like that, and then it turns out to be like, I'll still man everybody's case for them, right? It turns out to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, in Terminator 1 or whatever. Like, why would that mean that I couldn't just like drop everything right there and then just join the rebel human army and fight the thing? Like, there's nothing stopping you from. It's really a yes and, like, two things can be true, and I just think,
Exactly. That's it. Two things can be true.
I think it's funny. So for everybody out there that's been asking that, it's not a contradiction at all. And no, we're not making films with AI, and we're not saying you should make films with AI. AI has a lot of uses, and learning to use it is not a bad idea either if you're interested in saving time and you're a multi-hyphenate like we are. Okay.
Okay, at risk of derailing the conversation a little bit, because I think the next version of the AI conversation is Neuralink. Are you guys familiar with the idea
Oh, of course.
of
We're familiar.
Elon Musk has this brain mapping thing? And I, from what I understand, there's supposed to be like 35,000 uh, people that are using this by like 2030 or something
Mhm.
absolute absurd. So, how do we feel about having the technology running inside of our brains? And is that as the ultimate kind of efficiency? Where do you land? Are you into this or no?
No,
Papa
no,
Bear,
dude.
you
Well,
want
listen.
this?
Yeah, yeah. Go, yeah, go ahead, PB. I
Uh,
got thoughts,
uh,
but PB, go ahead.
no, I'm fine with it. It depends on it depends on obviously on uh, what we're saying the benefit is going to be. So I think it will
Uh-huh.
benefit a lot of people, particularly um, those with maybe some kind of issue that needs to be resolved. But
Right.
for the general public, probably not. But
Yeah.
no,
Dude?
I'm excited
Come
about the technology.
Yeah, listen, Daryl, like this is the PB thing is the thing that's how they get you, right?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is this is going to benefit this small population of people, so we should move forward with it and make it happen. And it's all altruistic, and no, you're going to steal parts of my brain. And that's what social media does now, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's already there.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
it's already there. There's already the drip of information. There's already FOMO. This stuff is already there, but requires you to take an action to a degree, because a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff is already consuming your thoughts by having the microphone active all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? By
Yeah.
crawling your searches, by crawling cookies across things. It's already crawling a lot of the things that you do, but that is you have to take an action in the world, in the digital world, to make that happen. And what they're saying is, forget all that stuff. Forget the cookies, guys. Let's make sure that your marketing is tailored to you.
Yeah.
And we're going to make sure that we can connect directly to your brain so you don't get any ads that you don't want. And it's like, it's all for you guys. No, you become the data point,
Yeah.
right? So now what's happening is that they're farming you. That's the challenge, is that you're not just getting this benefit, but you become part of the machine. So the question is, if these things that are in your brain are able to pull information in, well,
And export.
how much? There you go.
And
Yeah.
export.
Yeah.
Exactly. They can export. And how about what if they're feeding you thoughts
Yeah.
Mhm.
that you don't even realize you're having? So
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Th
This
there are
35
already
these all
patents
these people.
from the Air Force on these things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but
Yeah.
now people are willingly, just like when you sign up for any social media platform or any app, we all just dismiss the EULA, right?
Yeah.
The end user licensing agreement. When they say you have now given everything you post on social to the company to use in their marketing campaigns and their stuff, all of your art, all of the things that you do, you give them away. Now they're saying the same thing is going to be true for your thoughts. So that's the thing. So yeah, I think that more and more people will do it. I think people will see the benefits, and I think we will basically have human drones walking around with Neuralinks
Yeah,
in their heads.
Nick, it's far less 1984 and far more A Brave New World, where
Yeah.
like the benefit will outweigh the risk and the con, and we will walk willingly into sort of maybe a prison of our own making a little bit, maybe
Or the
into our
belief that
own
the benefit
our
outweighs
own
the con.
our belief of there, yeah. So we'll walk willingly into our own sort of you know, padded dystopia, maybe velvet lined dystopia,
Mhm.
and we'll all take our soma pills and be happy with it. And you know, the Air Force in 2020 was creating something where Air Force fighter pilots could wear helmets and then communicate in battle through thoughts,
Mhm.
because that speed is such a decisive advantage in a air fight. And if they could do
Chris,
that and then do it without the helmet, I mean, come on.
whatever, bro. I'm sorry if I'm communicating with you and I got my helmet on and I'm thinking about something I shouldn't be thinking about. You'd be like,
I
bro,
know. I know. It's dangerous.
what
You
was
gotta
that?
be that's why I say we'll
It
be closer
was
than
that
we've ever
baby
been, Nick.
oil? Bro,
Nick,
don't.
we'll be closer than we've ever been.
But listen, exactly. But Chris, you gotta understand. Like, I don't know if Daryl is like a Star Wars person, you know, because I know Chris isn't a Star
For
Wars
those
guy.
listening, Daryl is a Star
But
Wars guy.
yeah. But all I gotta say is execute
Mhm.
Order 66. Just saying. I don't
I
need
love
anything
that
in my
Daryl
brain
loved
telling me
that
what to
because I
do.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. You gotta look it up. Execute Order 66. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Shout out to Joey Baggs. Birthday was last week, and I will quote him again as I have many times on this show.
I'm
Star
a
Trek
child.
is for lovers. Okay?
Well, I mean,
That's all.
hey,
Star Trek's for
listen,
adults
that's what you
is
meant to
what he
say.
says.
No,
Yeah.
no, you what you just said? Guys, did you hear that? I'm gonna put it back out there.
I love it.
He's
Chris
told me
just
both.
said Star Trek is for lovers. He
Yeah.
meant to say Star Trek is for adults and Star
I
Wars
meant
is for
to say
children.
both of them. Cause Star Wars. Wait, did I say wars or track?
See?
He said Trek.
He has no
He said
Okay,
Trek.
good. Star Wars
It's
to
for
Joey
children.
Baggs, not me. Don't come after me. Joey Baggs says, okay, Star Wars people,
Hey.
not lovers,
Mm.
not adults. That's all.
You know,
That's what his opinion. That's not my opinion.
I don't even
That's
know what
his
that
opinion.
means.
find someone who can
Daryl.
do both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Star Trek 2 Wrath of Khan, bro. I'm sorry. One of the best movies ever made.
But Daryl, in all seriousness, here's what's going to happen. Potentially. So if you go to the pessimistic side of this, right?
Yeah.
You're competing in a world where everybody's using AI, okay? And AI may be using itself and teaching from and learning from itself and becoming something you can't compete against.
Yeah.
You're telling me that people in society won't put a Neuralink chip in their brain and become Neo from the Matrix
Yeah.
so that they are the AI and now they have a purpose in life again? They have relevance again. They'll do that even if you're sucking stuff out of their brain, Nick, and taking all
It's
their little
called the
information, all their little
Borg.
nasty thoughts.
It's called the Borg.
Yeah.
So if you're a Star Trek person, you know about the
Yeah.
Borg, and that's what
You
it
don't think
is.
people are going to do that? I think people
It's
would
the
do that in
Borg.
a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
100%. I believe they will. It's not about whether or not I believe they will. It's about what I want, right? I'm not putting that thing in my brain if I have a choice. But will people do it? Heck, to the
And will you
yes,
have a
they
choice?
will.
Because I don't know if you would pick irrelevance over that, but that's what the main character of A Brave New World did. He's like, let me just have my woman,
Mhm.
right? I believe in the book she was a well-endowed woman as well. So he's like, let me get my
Like
woman,
an Amazonian,
like just like a
like she like
top
Wonder
heavy.
Woman.
And then he's got his woman and he's living by himself and he just wants to be left alone, but they're not going to leave him alone. He's the last of they got get
Of a
him.
dying breed. Yeah, oh, I
Yeah.
know. I get it. I get
So
it.
me and
I
you would
get
have to
it.
be the dude in the Brave New World. Like, shout out to Aldous Huxley for dropping that was written in the 1920s, guys, if I'm not mistaken. Like, shout out to Aldous Huxley for like seeing the future and having like the 666 receipt and like, you know, knowing Rick Rubin was going to write this book 4 or 5 decades ago.
That's
But you
right.
did segue, and
Yeah.
unintentionally, you
Mhm.
segued into something really, really key here, which is this idea of people, um, when you're talking about social media and like, oh, they can take my art and now they took it and used it in the marketing. I didn't read the EULA, and now I kind of want to sue, or I want to like write a big post about this, or I want to complain about that, or whatever. Let's just let the people know Mark Zuckerberg stole all my art and he's making money off of it, whatever. Well, this kind of happened with Obsession, right? Shout out to Curry Barker, who we put in our newsletter 2 years ago, by the way. So shout out to us for being ahead of the game and for him for having such an incredible film. But there was someone in his crew, I think she was the art director, set director, Sally Choi, I think is how you say her name, Choi. If I mispronounced it, I apologize. But she had some posts, and I think I can pull this up on the screen for you guys to see it. So this is the post right here. And it says, I've debated this for a long time. I've been holding a lot of weight over the past 2 years since the production of Obsession. So I'm going to say it as it is. Obsession was made for $750,000 and is projected to make $250 million. How much I made? $300 a day as art director. And this came out to $6,741.36 after taxes. No mileage. Okay. She said she knew what she was going to get paid in advance. She understood all that stuff, and it keeps going. I'm going to bring up the other. It's a long post, but for those listening, if you come over to YouTube, you'll be able to see this on the screen. Just a good reason to come over to YouTube, subscribe. Just saying. Anyway, so she just keeps going, saying, "I kick myself every day for not flipping this production. I was encouraged not to, and I naively listened." You were naive. You naively listened. Listen, um, this is not good. Okay.
It's
This is
it's
this is
tough.
not good. This is a problem. Okay. Like you signed up to do a low budget horror film from an unknown, unproven director writer, and investors in that movie took an incredible risk. I cannot count, if I had a million hands, the number of films with the same budget that did nothing financially. It's an enormous risk. And the fact that the movie took off, you should be so proud of it. It took off in part to your art direction. Do you
Yeah.
think you're ever going to make $6,700 ever again?
Maybe
No,
if you
you're,
complain a
you
lot.
know, well,
There you
like,
go. That's it, Daryl.
yeah,
Like,
But
come on.
this is tough. Look, I think the underlying feeling that she has, I think we should all
Mhm.
feel, but that's a systematic issue, not a obsession film issue.
yeah,
I personally believe that when you work on a movie, you should have a piece of the upside. Technology does this, but like our industry is so back asswards because we don't economically incentivize people to run in the same direction. Tech, if you're at my tech company and you are an assistant, you're going to get equity in the company
yep,
because I want you to have ownership and to make the best freaking company that you can. And I think there's a real economic misalignment in our industry, and it's a huge problem. And to that piece that she is speaking about, I say amen. Like that is up. It's up that we can go out and make a bunch of money. I don't think we all understand the economics of how that money flows, and we probably have a lot of assumptions baked into what everybody's making. But at the end of the day, yes, I think that the crew should participate. But that isn't the reality of where we're at. That is not a problem of obsession. And like as a guy who's made a bunch of low budget shit and worked for literally for free for movies, I understand. But that's also the deal that you made consciously as an adult. You made the choice. And I think like complaining and and it's a hard thing. And again, we've all been burned. We've all been
Yeah.
in this industry long enough to have not gotten what was owed to us. But I don't think that complaining publicly does anything for you. And I don't think it helps you. Like, you could have
Doesn't
been the
help her
person that was
career.
walking around going, I just did Obsession as an art director. I know what I'm doing. This is
Yeah.
my career path. I knew I was great from the beginning, even though I was taking this small stuff, and now I'm going to be able to ask for more. And I think, unfortunately, you have created an energy that is going to make people think twice before hiring you, and that's unfortunate because, like, I'm sure that like the art direction was amazing. You should be owning it. You deserve all of the praise, and
100%.
systematically, I would say we should live in a system that financially incentivizes everyone from the PA up to run in the same direction. But that's just not the reality. Sorry,
There,
I felt like I cut you off, Chris. I apologize.
no, you didn't. You didn't. You're good. Because like I might say too much. Nick knows. Like, I might go too far. What I put on social media about this was just like, you can't change the business model once it no longer works for what you wanted. Like, the business model was set in advance, and now you want to change the contract. You want to change the way it works. Well, guess what? If that happened throughout the industry, what would happen to all our unions? Right? Like, how would they even exist? If so I think, in our business, everything is a contract, and you can write you can, you know, but hopefully you get on the next thing that Curry Barker does, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then he writes a contract that does some profit sharing, right? But in the movie business, basically, for those who don't know, the producers put up the risk and the time, the investors put up the financial risk, and if the movie doesn't do anything, they basically did what Daryl said, was a work for free
Yeah.
or and lose all their money.
Yeah.
And as a reward to keep that system going, which basically allows for movies to be made, right? To keep that going, the rewards have to be enormous, right? Like, the possibility of 100xing your money has to exist for those people to get out of bed and be excited about a film, because you're not competing as an investor. Like, you're not competing against another film, you're competing against the next app or the next piece of technology. Like, do I put my money in this film, or do I put it in SpaceX? Do I put it in, like, where do I go with, like, so I think there's this idea that, like, well, some other movie will just get the money. No, like, no film will get the money. And so there has to be a possibility to hit a home run, and then we can't re-adjudicate the business model when it doesn't work for us, right? And then I just felt like, man, this is such bad mojo. Anyway, Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, my my approach to this, if I had seen it on social and I was active like that, I'd be like DMing her. And
Really? Really?
yeah, I would send the DM and be like, "Hey, listen, like we all feel your pain and we understand that, right? But take this down because
Yeah.
because this isn't helping you. Like this is hurting you. This is the conversation that you have in the quiet spaces. Right, you have this with your friends and your family or some other filmmakers, and you talk about it, and you preach to the choir maybe a little bit, and we're all in our feels about it, and maybe you get together and you come up with a better way. Maybe there's conversations about ways to make this work going forward, or ideas you have about the next film that you get on. You'll ask for something on the back end or do something on the weight of this film.
Mhm.
But putting it out the way that you did is not helping you, and because you did this, people are gonna talk about you. People like the folks that Make It podcast. We're gonna put your name out there, and we're gonna talk about it. And now people are gonna know your name in a light that you don't want.
Right.
So,
And
it's not
if
that
I
you're
may, I do
wrong.
think. Oh yeah.
It's just the way no, I'm just saying it's just the way and the way you said it and the platform you're using. Go ahead, Daryl.
No. I was going to say, I think what you said that kind of resonated with me was I think that it is an important, because like, look, in some ways I go, that's brave, like
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
that kind of statement out loud, that's brave. But I think the bravery has to be in framing it and saying, hey, I've identified a problem within our industry that we need to solve. Not, I wish I'd have flipped this
Yeah,
Exactly.
shoot,
yeah,
like there's
yeah.
sorry if the language is a problem. You can bleep me
No,
out.
like,
Like,
No,
we're
it's
all
not.
adults.
no,
It's
yeah,
all
I
good.
think but to me, I'm like, hey, look, I agree, and to go back to Zendaya,
My man.
I forget what the movie was, but she did this early on with Malcolm and Marie, I think it was,
Mhm.
where
Okay.
everybody on that crew had some back end and they all got to win together, and it was a significant win for that crew. If I look at like what they're doing at Artist Equity, that's another, like, people are trying to solve this problem,
Mhm.
and I do think it's important to talk about. And also, like, I've been emotional and said some stupid shit publicly before, that maybe even was true what I was saying, but
Yep.
probably was not the best format for me to say it and the best place for me to say it. And I feel like energetically, if we live in uh, that kind of revenge fantasy of, I wish that I had flipped this thing, I don't think that's good for you. I don't think that's good for your career. And I think it unfortunately it diverts the conversation away from what we should be talking about, which is the structural inequity that is built into film and television that
The
allows
model,
people to work
yes.
their freaking asses off and get paid nothing and see no benefit, no economic benefit. And we're just supposed to be lucky that we were able to work for X company or on X film. And I think that's the more important conversation that's getting missed in all of this. And um I, deep in my heart, I wish that someone would be so philanthropic as to just give people stuff when there's not a contract, but that's not the reality of any capitalistic society.
Yep.
Chris, it's true that this industry runs on contracts. That's every industry, right?
Yep.
Like this is the business part of film and television and the entertainment industry that we don't talk about enough. And by the way, I really hope we as a group do sit down and say, hey, this is fed up and we need to change it. Why can't we reserve 1 or 2 points on the back end for the army of people that are slaving away to make this thing happen? And I don't think that makes our industry, that doesn't make a movie unfinanceable. That isn't an impossible obstacle to overcome.
Nope.
And that's the conversation I think we really
It's
need to be
just they don't do it. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the obstacle. They just don't do it.
Yeah.
Think about it. If they just did it, 1 to 2%, put it in the
Yeah.
contract. They just don't think about it. Like something,
Yeah.
the person that we're talking about probably didn't even think about it. Now they're mad. Now they're salty. It's like, well, if you thought about it, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's not going to hurt us, because if we don't make anything, you don't get anything, right? If we do get a bunch of stuff, then what you're going to get is good. It's like, it's not going to,
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt anybody.
And
Well,
They just
also, we
didn't
just
think
need to
about it.
find out, Daril and Papa Bear, maybe you can look this up on the side, but like, we need to find out, was it a DGA shoot
oh yeah.
and was it a SAG shoot?
Yeah.
Because in those cases, guys, those unions run the contracts.
Yeah.
You can't violate them. You get fined. Like, you can't like operate. You can't, like, I know what you're saying, Nick. Like, if it were a non-DGA or non-SAG
Yeah.
shoot, then just write the contract as you want. Like, if you shot it in like a right to work state or something like that. But like, if that's not the case, you can't just write any contract you want. Like, it's a little bit more as a crew member in IATSE, which is also a union. Like, you can't just do that. I mean, you can try, I guess. I just like
I actually,
it's a
I
little bit
do
more
think,
complex than that.
I do think you can. Like, I think, Malcolm and Marie, they did that. I think that's a great example of a
Okay.
film that was very successful that did that. But, and there were, back in the day, pre-technology, there were a lot of barriers to paying out these micro payments to everyone, right? But I look
Yep.
at, great CAMAs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a CAMA, but this is like a collection
Yeah.
account
Yep.
management system.
Yep.
And like Film Chain is a good example of this. They can make micro payments to individuals. They can put 250 people into their system and make tiny little micro payments.
Yep.
And the for this collection account management system is often required for many films anyway. And so, like, I think there were a billion reasons why that wouldn't work in the past, and technology's solving a lot of that, but we're not evolving. Our industry and the processes of our industry are not evolving as rapidly as the reality
Yeah.
that we live in. And that's, again, part of the reason that I started Kino.
But
And
Kino can do some of that, right? Like Kino's taking a different approach as well.
yeah, like my goal is for us to work on projects and have everyone economically incentivized to run in the same direction. I want my grip and my gaffer to have back end, because they're gonna then put that extra effort in. And look, if we don't do what Undertone did and do 20x domestic, and by the way, I love that the conversation in any other year, a $500,000 movie doing $20 million would be all we're talking about.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
Now
this
we've got
year, it's
3
not
at
even
least.
a drop in
Yeah.
the bucket because of Obsession, and I'm so grateful for that. This is the shot in the arm that indie film needed. But like, I think we just, I think we need to look at this structurally, and unions need to get involved and start thinking about this. But it's not just on others. I think it's for those who are making independent films. You want a recipe for greatness, you let everyone have skin in the game. That's the recipe. It won't matter. No one's gonna slack off like they will if they're not, like, I really think that we need to think about this
Mhm.
like every other industry, like the technology industries that are kicking our ass right now and taking over Hollywood, and saying, okay, what are the things that actually work from this structure that we can take, and I think will economically benefit all of us.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
key for me, though, Chris, is that, Darryl just said we have to think about this. So that's the problem. Forget the technology. If you didn't think about it, then you know what I'm saying? Then the technology doesn't matter. I think that that's what's happening. I
Yeah.
think that there's
Did
people are
she
not
think about asking
thinking
did she ask
this
for more?
way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That no one thinks about it this way, right? It's either you're thinking about making the art, or you're thinking about a day rate. Like, they're not thinking about equity, because you know why you don't think about equity? Because equity and art don't go together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
Well, they do with
See?
Kino, but like
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah,
but it's
there it
it's
is.
a great
So
it's a
you
great
got to
point,
start
Nick.
thinking that way.
The way we did it, back in the day before, I'm willing to say too, like the technology, right, is there, Daryl, but like you could always work around it.
yeah, yeah,
Meaning, okay,
yeah.
so
That's valid. That's super valid.
I'll just give a real world example from me and Nick's experience. Like, okay, the editor wants back end, the DP wants back end. You just make them producers.
Yes, yes,
It's not that complicated in that regard, but you also have to be thinking about, do I want my DP and editor to have a piece? Do they want a piece? Do they ask for a piece? What are we expecting this to do? And if so, okay, cool. We'll make you a producer on the film. And sometimes you leave those slots open for all kinds of stuff. We have a film that got distributed where that person's production logo is the first thing you see on the movie, and they didn't spend one day on set. They didn't do anything in the movie except get us the distribution deal.
yeah,
And that, I've learned, is valuable. Like, that was enough to get that logo on there, and I'm fine with that. Okay,
yeah,
cool. Your logo's on there. You didn't have anything to do with this movie. You know that. We know that. But as far as it goes, I mean, like, people are able to see the movie because you helped us out and create a bridge between distributor and filmmaker for us, right?
yeah,
So what I mean by, like, the contract thing is, you can ask for whatever you want. That's the cool thing about the movie business. You can, if you have the right lawyer, if you have the right representation, if you have friends at your union, if you just think of it like Nick said, like, think of it, you can ask for it and you might get it. But once it's done, I feel like the person I talked to that I told you about earlier in the conversation that said, if you were talented, you'd be famous already, whatever. I feel like she had some of those people in her family. They were like, this movie's blowing up. You still broke. And then she got all salty because somebody else is in her business that's actually jealous of her and put her up to make that post and say,
Nah,
you should do
Neuralink
it,
told her to
girl,
do
you
it.
should do it.
Neuralink. Yes, great callback, Nick.
Yeah, yeah. Voice in your head.
Thoughts in,
Yeah.
thoughts out, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, so anyway, I just
Uh,
wanted to say I didn't love it, and it's not great, but I do love, to your point, Daryl, like what's happening in indie film. And I think a lot of these publications are getting it a little bit wrong. Like they're talking about, hey, people want story. So Iron Lung and Backrooms and Obsession and in the future here, Undertone, they're all doing great at the box office because people are tired of the algorithm. They're tired of the Netflix something's got to happen in the first 2 minutes algorithm. And you got to repeat the dumb line because you're competing against a second screen algorithm. They're tired of Marvel. It's not that. It's not that.
Yeah,
The big movies have done great as well. Michael did great. Project Hail Mary did great.
so
Like
good.
these other movies are going to do great. Here's what it is, guys. Audience. It's not algorithm. It's audience. All three, Markiplier, shout out to you, Markiplier, Curry, Barker, and Kane Parsons all had a built-in audience that followed them to the theater. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And so if you're in 2026 as an actor, as a director, any of those, anyone's going to show up on screen or looking for it, like anybody that's influencing the marketing of a film, if you're in 2026 and still complaining that social media following is a evil KPI, is a evil key performance indicator, you got to stop. It's over, guys, because these three films just proved that it's true. These are valuable key performance indicators. You need to give up on your fear and go out there and show people your talent and get the following, because when you have that following, not only would you get jobs, but you will probably bring dollars to your bank account on the way. Just simple as that.
and
No
and
more
I'm gonna say
complaining about
this.
social
Wait,
media being
wait,
a
wait.
maker.
And I'm gonna add to that. I'm like, and make a horror film. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like right now,
Genre.
because right now, I'm just telling you. Like there was a day. I mean, we know that low budget horror films are the way to go if you want to make
Mm,
some money. Period. If you just want to make some money, not if you want a 20x, but if you want to make some money, right? Because you didn't spend a lot, you can get a lot because horror film lovers are voracious, right? They will
insatiable.
eat this stuff up, right?
Mhm.
But now if you do something that actually gets beyond a horror film lover and you have a greater audience beyond them that likes it, then you'll do even better. That we've known that for a long time. But I will tell you, horror in 2026 is what comedy was in 2000.
Mm,
It's the new comedy. Like it was
mm,
all comedies back then, man. Like that's what we watched. We always watch comedies and we wanted more of it. Now we even ask our audience, what do you want? And they said horror. That is
yeah,
actually what people want now. So
yeah,
now if you do it well, you're not just reaching the horror audience, but you're reaching the broader audience because the broader audience has been introduced to horror in a new way. So it doesn't
yep,
always have to be gore. It can
Yeah.
just be scary, right? It doesn't just have to be scary, it can be thoughtful, right? It doesn't
yeah.
have to be thoughtful, it can be one of those things that's historical, like, like Sinners, right? There's so many different ways to use the genre, and that's what's attracting people now. So I think that's
Weapons last year.
Yeah, dude.
exactly. There's this use the genre
Scary,
in new
funny,
ways because
all the
people
things.
want the genre. You know what I'm saying? They do.
Yeah.
So if you do something really well in that space, then you can do really well. So yeah, horror's the way to go.
Yep, yep. And this sort of auteur horror, I wanna give props to Jordan Peele for that. He
Oh,
really
everybody's
launched
got to give it to him.
auteur horror.
You
That's
got you got
that's
to give it to him.
that's the jam. Okay, guys, are we ready
Yes.
for the reason everyone showed up? Papa Bear's things we should know.
Yeah.
The number one. Yes.
So, PB, the stage is yours, sir.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we've been dancing around the notion of box office and blockbusters And you talked about obsession. You know, it had a overwhelming day this week in that
Mm.
it was on its 25th day. It still
Yep.
made $4.1 million. That
Dope.
that just blows your minds. That
Should
outdid
we
The
give him?
Force
Should we give him a
Awakens,
horn, PB? Should we give him DJ Philip horn? All right. There we go. All right.
outdid
Yep.
Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man, No Way Home. So on
Mm.
their 25th day. And so box office is going to be big this summer. And so I want to ask, what actor had 3 movies open at number 1 at the domestic box office
Okay.
in 1 year?
Do we need to name the year as well, PB?
You can.
Okay, so not a prerequisite, Daryl. We don't have to say the year, but there's an actor that had 3 movies. All 3 movies opened up at number 1 in the box office, all in 1 year, correct?
Yes, and do you know the films? We can add that on there.
Oh shit! Now we're really.
It feels like it has to be a Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt type person, and it feels like you could have something like what year did Meet Joe Black come out or something? Like that would be like there's going to be 2 obvious films is what I'm saying, and then one of the films is going to be less obvious, like a Meet Joe Black for Brad Pitt, and you're going to be like, "Oh yeah, that came out the same." Like or Benjamin Button. Like you'll be like, "Okay, here's 2 blockbusters and then Benjamin Button." It's going to be something like that.
Wait. Say it again for me. That it was number 1 during what period of time? The same
It
week? What?
It opened at number 1 at the domestic box office. 3, an actor with 3 films
In the
in the
same
same year
year.
that opened number 1 at the
Not the
box
same
office.
week, Nick.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you like? That was great. All right, so it's
Okay.
Jonathan Majors.
So you're
Who?
going Jonathan Majors?
Jonathan Majors.
I'm going Russell Crowe.
Okay.
I'm going Harrison Ford. I'm going old school.
Okay.
So
Those are
that's
great guesses.
That's a
I'm
great guess.
gonna let you in on a little secret about this. It's kind of a trick question because
Oh my
2
God.
actors
You don't say.
2 actors have attained this achievement,
Wow.
and neither of them ones you called off are who did that.
Yeah. So listen. So Jonathan Majors, I could have sworn that he did 2, but not. I don't. The third one, he was in 3 movies in a year, but the third movie I know really didn't hit. But that's all I can think of. So Jonathan Majors did Creed 3 and Ant-Man Quantumania in the same year. And the
Oh.
third one was like the I think it was like an Air Force
I kept
movie.
thinking, Nick.
And
I
but that
kept thinking,
I didn't
why
think that
is
would
he
have hit number
guessing
1.
Jonathan Majors?
Well, that's why.
I
Because so those 2
You know what
movies,
he's
Creed
doing, Daryl?
3 and
You know what he's
Ant-Man
doing?
Quantumania.
Go.
Daryl,
What's he doing?
Nick knows Papa Bear so well at this point with this freaking segment. He knows that it's a trick, and he knows that the actor is going to be a supporting actor or a
Oh.
tertiary actor that just
Oh.
happens to be in the big movies, like a Jonathan May. I kept thinking, why would he say Jonathan and not Denzel?
But listen,
Yeah.
Why
but
would he say
listen,
Jonathan and not Forrest
Yeah.
Whitaker? Why wouldn't he
because
say Tyler Perry even?
because when I saw those 3 movies, he was in 3 movies the same flipping time. It's like not
This
even
is
just in
why
the same
this
year,
is why you
bro.
make the big bucks, Nick. This is why you're a
Yeah,
genius.
but not even just in the same year. They were in the theater at the same time, and I was
love
like,
your
"This is
thinking.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that." So I get it because the third one, that Air Force movie, would not have hit number 1, but that's the only one that I could think of. Now Harrison
Can I
Ford
ask
is a
for a
great
hint?
one.
And we also haven't guessed a woman. Like,
Yeah, but
could
go
it
ahead. Wait.
be
Yeah, but Darryl, what was your
Julia
question?
Roberts?
Oh,
What?
that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, I think it's probably initially I'm like, oh, it's a number 1, so it's going to be action,
Right, it's a
kind of
lead
thing.
guy or
Yeah,
gal.
but now
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, is this like is it a comedy? Because like, if this is the 90s, right?
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, these
Yeah.
guys are putting up
Mhm.
funny
Stifler.
movies. I don't know.
Stifler.
Really, bro?
Stifler.
No, he did one movie at the time. Like
He
he
was-
wasn't. He wasn't in
he was
three.
he was in Old Boy or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Like,
he
was in-
wasn't doing three. But yes, Ben Stiller, Jim
remember
Carrey.
he tased
That's
Will
totally
Ferrell?
on point. Oh, Will Ferrell. That's another one
Will
right
Ferrell's
there.
another one. He just had a little cameo in Wedding Crashers, right?
Oh, that's interesting too.
Mom
yeah.
the Meatloaf.
Yeah, they were doing
Yeah,
multiple
right.
movies
Yeah, I
at
think
the
his
same
name in that
time.
movie was Chaz, Daryl. He played a guy named Chaz who was still
There's
living
always
with
a
his
Chaz
mom,
in the '90s. I'll tell you that much.
and he had started funeral crashing to get girls.
Which
I-
is
I-
genius.
I
Nobody
don't know.
called
I don't
off
know.
Tyler Perry.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I heard. I said Tyler Perry because of the
You said
Medea.
I know, but number one where? In the Walmart box?
Oh
Coffee.
shit!
All right,
in the
so
red box.
all right, PB, get us
We've
the answer
beat this
before we
horse to
get
death.
off the air.
I
Yeah,
think I'm
yeah.
gonna have to give the prize, however, to Daryl. The first year we're talking about is 1994,
Okay.
90s.
and Jim Carrey had 3 films:
Shout
Ace
out to
Ventura,
Jim
Pet
Carrey.
Detective, The Mask,
So mad.
Dumb and Dumber.
I mean, I said 18 names, but that's the one I'm going to claim,
Yeah,
I'm confident
you're the
about
only one who
Jim.
said it. You're the only one who
Dumb
said
and
it.
Dumber. Why did that clap
You know,
again? I have no idea why that clapped again.
Call
Dumb
off
and
enough
Dumber.
names,
Yeah.
you're gonna get it.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
awesome.
Exactly.
Wait, what's the third one? So it's The Mask, Dumb and Dumber,
and
and
Ace? Is that what you said?
Ace Ventura, Pet
Ace
Detective.
Ventura.
Love
Ace
that.
Ventura.
Bro, can you imagine they came out in the
Pet
same
Detective.
year? Like that's
crazy.
crazy. But that's what I'm
What a
saying.
year
Like
for
that
Jim
was the
Carrey,
horror.
man.
But that was the horror of those days. I'm saying, like, make
Comedy
these
was
movies,
Well,
churn them out. We
a
were,
great
You're
point.
we
right about
wanted it.
comedy. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a great point. Nick.
The other
Okay,
person
what's
that
the
has
second one,
achieved
PB?
this is more recent, and I'm really surprised we haven't gotten this one. In
wait, is that 50 Cent son Maurice?
more recent? Yeah.
Shout out to Maurice Cent.
Yes.
Do you have a want a sound effect? Curtis?
I got one that's close enough. I mean, if
Go
you
ahead,
really
man.
want it, you know what I'm saying? I'll
Go
give it to
ahead,
you.
hit it.
Oh, you mother.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
That's
I
all
don't know
right.
how I
Saying
do
us
it,
right
guys.
now.
I don't know how I do it.
Yeah.
in 2025, there
Wow.
were 3 films out, 1 actor, lead, How to Train Your Dragon, Black Phone 2, Regretting You.
Ethan
That's
Hawke.
Mason Timms.
Mason
Tim-
Timms.
it
What?
wasn't Ethan, bro.
That's crazy.
Mason, shout out to Mason Timms.
That's awesome.
I never
Holy
would've guessed that.
moly.
Dude.
And I wouldn't have
that's
guessed that
crazy.
Black
And that's
Phone 2 was
recent.
number 1. But I didn't know Black Phone 2 made it to number 1. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know it
Made
either.
it to number 1 in the box office
Man.
that year.
Wow.
I liked Black Phone 1 better, just
Opening.
But so that's why I was biased thinking Black Phone 2 couldn't have been number 1, but it probably was because on the strength of Black Phone 1.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that's crazy. How do you
wow.
spell his last name, PB?
Oh, Thames. It's like the River
TH.
Thames
Oh, yes.
in London.
Yeah. I love it. Wait, isn't that the same
Wow.
river that Achilles got dipped in? No, that's the river Styx. Okay. So,
Got dipped in.
didn't they dip Achilles in there, and then the only
Just
thing that
his
was
heel.
vulnerable was his ankle?
He
No,
he
the
got
opposite.
shot
They
in the
dipped his
ankle.
whole body in there, and they held his heel, and that's why when he got shot in the ankle, he died.
In the ankle, he died. Right, exactly. Because
Yeah.
that was the only part that
His
didn't
mom
get dipped.
Thetis dipped him in the river Styx to make him
And
immortal.
just so you know, he said thetis, not fetus. It's very easy to.
His mom Thetis. Papa Bear, you did it again. This is definitely a thing we should know.
That's right.
And
And it's a
Daryl, you're
great
going to be able to
callback,
go to your
bro.
next cocktail party and blow people away.
Yeah.
That's right. And listen,
Does
it's a
anybody
great
ever get
callback
these?
to what we were saying.
Does anybody ever get them? I don't think so.
Yes, they do. But they're close. There's some.
It's rare. When
There
somebody
are
gets it, like,
some.
we're really happy.
Exactly. It's rare. So you are one of the chosen few, my friend. 666 and all the things.
I feel like I said like so many names. It feels like a half win. Like I really want to. I wanted to be
bro.
confident.
You got it. No,
win. I get it.
No. Listen. You didn't just say the names, and that's what we like about this is that there's a thought process. Because, like I said, this things we should know is a great callback to what I said earlier about horror and comedy, and the fact that you're churning this stuff out, and people who are great at it. Like Jim Carrey, come on,
First
man.
one was comedy. Second one's horror.
Yeah, and he was great at it. I mean, think about it. I'm sure way back in the day, it didn't hit #1, but Steve Martin had to have been churning out films. That
Woody
whole
Allen.
Saturday Night Live crew
Mouth
had
still
to
out
be
to say
just
Woody
putting
Allen, I
stuff
don't know.
out. Thank you. What I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, Daryl,
It's a tale of the
you
times.
did it. You got it.
Well done, Papa Bear.
All
Yeah.
right.
That was great. And now,
Solid.
Daryl, after we've tortured you with that trivia, it's time to bring this thing home with Clear the Set. Are you ready?
Oh,
Do you
have your finger on the button?
Why did that play? I swear to God, something weird is going on with Riverside. That is the second time media has
It's
played.
the
when I didn't
Abazu.
even play it.
Abazu has possessed this.
This 666 thing is freaking me out. I
give him
touched
holy
nothing.
water.
That's the
Just
second
start
time I've
spraying it,
touched
bro.
nothing, and the sound plays. Okay, my bad to the audience. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Clear the
let's
set.
go.
Are you ready, Daryl?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. What are your top 3 films?
Oof. This is a tough one. I think the first one for me has to be The Matrix. If you guys know my story, I grew up not being allowed to watch movies. The Matrix literally changed my life. I cannot shy away from The Matrix. It's so freaking good. I would say Raiders of the Lost Ark. When it comes to adventure movies, and again, call back to my first thesis, Harrison Ford. I think Indiana Jones holds up. Like you watch that, because I had no reference of when things were made, obviously, as I was watching shit. And I thought that movie was so much more recent than it actually was when I first watched it. Incredible film.
Agreed.
Oh, and then a third one. This is tough because I feel like I'm going to be judged so harshly by this choice. And I feel like there should be a comedy because I watch and love so many comedy films. But if I think about the things that were very impactful to me, I'd say probably Gladiator, actually. Russell Crowe's Gladiator, because I in that first week of cinema where I was just watching films I wasn't allowed to watch growing up, so I just started consuming. I had never seen a tragic film. We watched so many movies, and the hero's always, hero always won. And then we watched Gladiator, and I was brought to tears, and I was like, "What the did they just do to me? This is heartbreaking in the best possible way." So I think probably Gladiator stands up out there for me.
Daryl,
I
all I
think
gotta
that's the
say
first
is
time we've
when
gotten Gladiator.
Yeah, it
Or
is.
Raiders
But
of the Lost Ark,
when he
PB, which
found
is your
his
favorite
family,
movie.
when he found his family, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Honestly, it
Buckets,
still
dude. I
sticks
was
with me
up
to
for that.
this day. Yeah, it's like, oh shit.
Oh, Nick's cry for those listening.
Yeah.
Nick is starting to get verklempt. Papa Bear, isn't Raiders of the Lost Ark your favorite movie of all time?
It's one of them. I wouldn't say it's favorite of all time.
Which one is it? Is it Imitation of Life?
No.
There's one I'm forgetting that's obvious.
There's one, and it's hard to say
Oh, Deer Hunter.
favorite
Deer Hunter.
because
Deer
its
Hunter's your
impact.
favorite.
Deer Hunter impacted me like, 3 days I had that in my head.
Yeah,
after seeing
great
that.
film.
Yeah, Deer Hunter will get you, especially that last 20 minutes. That will really destroy your life. Congratulations to Chris Walken and De Niro for being in The Deer Hunter and destroying my father's life. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great movie. And it's a movie that if you watch it, you can't do an act 1 like that again.
No.
You'll never get an act 1 like that again, like you got in The Deer Hunter. Shout out to The Deer Hunter.
And it's one you really only watch once.
Yeah, man. And listen, Russell Crowe is such a good actor that I just saw him in Nuremberg last year.
Dude, he crushed in Nuremberg.
He was so good in it that I forgot that the guy he was playing was skinny as a rail. like the dude he was actually portraying, I found out, was like bone skinny.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe's over there looking like he just finished a rack of lambs. Like, I'm like, but you are acting your ass off, bro. I don't even care that you didn't even try to transform for this role.
He didn't need to.
You are carrying this film, sir.
Yeah.
Right? It was fantastic. Okay, second question. Name the film, Daril, that you're embarrassed to admit you haven't seen.
Oh, that's tough. Listen, because of my weird upbringing, there's so many great films that I haven't seen. So I probably should be, but I was recently embarrassed by my fiance, this is such a funny one
Welcome
to
to my
choose.
world. Recently embarrassed.
Because she found out that I hadn't seen High School Musical, and this is her favorite film, and not on my radar.
Look at
So
Nick's
sorry.
face.
So I was recently embarrassed though because I had played it off early in our relationship, like I had seen it, which is my MO.
That's
You mention something, I don't know what it is, I'm Googling it and I'll add it to my watch list.
Do you realize, Daril, you're the first person to actually call out the spirit of the question that, like, because we asked this question on Clear the Set, and that was the spirit of the question when I wrote it, was that there are times where we get in this Larry David moment where we just have to lie. It's better to tell the white lie. Like, yeah, I saw Schindler's List. Of course I've seen Schindler's List. Right. And then somebody catches you that you haven't seen it. And now you're embarrassed that you haven't seen it. You know, so I thank you for calling that out. You have to lie to your fiance about High School Musical if it's her favorite movie.
Look, it wasn't a
then you
lie.
gotta try to
I
watch
just didn't tell her. I didn't know the reference.
Yeah.
It's a lie of omission, which I think is still a lie.
You're right. But you'll make up for it, and you all will enjoy the movie together. So
I love shit like that. That makes Daril a real person to me. You know what I mean? Okay. Name the film everyone loves that you hate.
Ooh. This is tough because I love much more cinema than I should, right? Like I love bad movies even. I think it's part of
Again,
like
he was
not being
denied
able-
Papa Bear. That's why.
Yeah. But I think a film that I felt was I felt like the overrated films, and maybe this isn't fair because man, I don't want to create haters.
Yeah, look, listen. Hate is my word, not yours. Hate is my word, not yours. You can just leave it at overrated or overlight.
Yeah. The movie, I really feel like Star Wars episodes 1 through 3 were so, and I love Star Wars. I thought they were so overhyped. People were stoked out of their mind for Phantom Menace, and when I watched it, I was like, nah.
No, you're spot on. Like that's the thing. Like there's stans and there's fans and then there's viewers, right? The stans are all in because it's Star Wars, right? The fans are like, I mean, you tried, and there's certain things that came out of them, like Darth Maul, that we love, but it just didn't do what we thought it was going to do, and they overdid a lot of other stuff, right? The environment.
Was that where we were introduced to Jar Jar Binks?
Jar Jar Binks, yeah.
Listen, that was excluded. I forgot about Jar Jar. That's objectively a bad choice.
right. Misa. And look, you get what they were trying to do, because one of the things that you have to understand about indigenous peoples is that they had their own dialects that don't necessarily sound as curated as the dialects that we get, right? So they were trying to do
Esperanto,
Pidgin English and all this type of stuff, but they did it in such a farcical way that it was like, you are kidding me with this guy. Like, he's ridiculous. He's fumbling all over himself. And like, somehow he's going to win the day because he tripped over himself and shot 3 stormtroopers in the brain. It's like, come on, man. Like, stop with that. So, dude, I'm with you.
Were these also the Christian, what's his name, Daril?
Christian Haydenson.
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. What's his name?
Were these in these Hayden Christensen? Were these those episodes as
Yeah.
well, guys?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Oh, the whole
Yes.
thing just is
and
so.
and the little
He's going
Anakin
deeper.
that we all were like,
bad.
he never should have been Anakin because dude, he couldn't act. So
Well,
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
the age gap between him and his future love interest. We like, come on.
Yeah. 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 We didn't
Like-
love it. We
like-
didn't love it then.
Epstein
don't
had
love
some
it now.
influence on those first 3 episodes. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah. You're like, bruh, come on,
Mm-mm.
man. Bruh.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I'm with you. And you're spot on, dude. I'm with you. It's like I said, you don't have to be alone on that one. You're not gonna get haters because
Nick's jumping in with
Yeah.
you.
100%.
He's
2
joining
feet.
arms with you on
10
that
toes
one.
down.
All right. Last one, Daryl.
All right.
What is your favorite cheat day meal?
Oh, I love this
What
question.
are you eating?
I love savory over sweet for the most part, so I'm usually a savory, and I love pasta. Like, I will eat the shit out of pasta. It is so I think if I can go, and like, there's specifically these raviolis, that I had while I was in France, which is not the place to go get pasta, by the way. But
Okay.
it was like it was it was like squid ink seafood stuffed. I couldn't pronounce it because it was obviously in French, but I had it in
Right.
a can this year, and I was like, I would eat this every day, 1,000 times over, anytime I could. Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the restaurant you had it at in France?
Let's see. I don't actually, but it was on. If you know Cannes, I don't know if you've ever been.
Yeah.
The festival, by the way,
Yeah.
best festival.
Shout
Old
to Cannes.
Town. There's like that road that goes up, and there were multiple restaurants that I ate at there that I do remember, but it was on that Old Town strip.
Squid ink pasta.
Squid ink pasta,
Ravioli
raviolis with the
specifically.
seafood. By the way, producer Papa Bear and myself, Nick, I don't know if you were there last year or if you were in like Paris proper, but a couple years ago, me and Papa Bear were in the south of France together, and everyone should go. It's like stay off the buses.
Mhm.
Okay, there's a little bus hustle they have going on there with the police, but outside of that, just it's choice. Oh, and the beaches are rock beaches.
Yeah.
That's not great. But outside of that, the food, just the vibe, you're just gonna have a great time. And apparently you're gonna have incredible squid ink pasta, raviolis as well. Daryl, you have done it, and that brings us to a close on Clear the
Yeah,
Set. You've
man.
cleared it, and now there's nothing left to do for you but leave you with the question we leave every guest with as we wrap up these episodes, and that is, what does it mean? And this is, by the way, I should just preface this. This means so much more for you this year and what you've accomplished over the last 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
What does it mean to have made it, maybe, on
No,
this
no,
one?
let's just say, what does
But-
it mean to make it?
Okay, there you go. Nick has said it. What does it mean to make it?
I think what it means to make it for me is to be able to see my name in the credits and my company's logo opening. That I cried. You know what I mean? And if you can't tell, I'm a very emotional person, so that's not saying much. But man, I feel like for this film specifically, when we were in the library theater in Sundance and the Kino logo popped up on the screen and people started cheering, I was like, oh shit, like we made it. So I think that's what it means to make it.
Man, you
That's
got
awesome.
me over here with goosebumps.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I
when they
got
call it the
goosebumps on my arm
goosies,
right
you
now.
know,
I don't
they
know if
got
you
the
can see this on camera. Oh
goosies,
my
bro,
God.
you know?
Like I'm over here getting chill because I'm just visualizing what that must have felt like for you. I'm an emotional guy too. I cried at Oppenheimer. Like I did. I'm not even kidding. I cried at Oppenheimer. Don't go see Hamnet.
Yeah.
If you're a crier, avoid Hamnet at all costs.
Right.
But that is beautiful. Can you tell everybody again where they can go see Undertone, where they can support Kino, where they can find you on the internet?
Yeah, so it's on transactional right now. So if you're renting on Apple, Amazon, and then today, when this podcast released, the 26th of June, it is now on HBO. So go watch it on HBO. You can follow me and my crazy journey at Daril Fannin on socials, and our company's socials at Kino Makes Movies.
Do what the man says. Go follow him on Kino. We're gonna cheer for him one more time here. You know what I'm saying? Show him some love. Go follow him on social. Go watch the film. Go rent it. Go buy it. Do what we always say. Indies should support indies.
Yeah.
You know, like put your money where your mouth is. Go spend some money. That money will find its way back to you threefold. I promise you that. And then when it's out on HBO today, make sure you go watch it on HBO if you have that subscription. If you don't, maybe you subscribe and then just, do what the kids do and just unsubscribe tomorrow, right? Just go watch it. Boom, I'm done. I don't like anything else. I'm not going to stay there for Bill Maher. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull out there. You know what I'm saying? Just pull out, Nick. You know about that. You just pull. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gone. No money, no loss, no problem.
That Neuralink would come in handy just now.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, for us, if you want to find us, you can find us. It's easy. We're on Instagram, TikTok. We are on Facebook. We are on X. We are on YouTube. We're everywhere. _Make It Podcast, or just search for the Make It Podcast. We will come right up. One cool thing that we're still able to do and we're really proud of is respond to 100% of DMs and comments. It is starting to get a little overwhelming, to be honest. Like now it's happening a lot. And I'm out there, Nick's out there, Papa Bear's out there, intern Miguel, shout out to you. We're all out there just trying to respond and do our thing for you to let you know we're real people in a world full of fake stuff, that we're real people responding to you. And right now I've been in like this super generous mood, Nick. Like people that comment, people who are like first commenters on YouTube, people who are first commenters on posts, I'm just like sending them stuff. I'm like, hey, DM me your address. I'm just going to send you a gift. It'll be a surprise package in the mail for you. Okay. So engage with us, as Nick says, subscribe, like, share, and leave us a 5-star review. If you're on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, it makes a huge difference. If you have 30 extra seconds, type some stuff up. Say how much you love the show. It really helps us with discoverability. So with that, Nick, can you please leave us with the credo?
A butt of cows. But I have to say to my man Daril, dude, this is awesome. It's good to see you again, brother. This is the second
Heck
time
yeah.
around. We'll do a third
Heck
and a
yeah.
fourth and a fifth round. We'll keep
Yeah.
doing it because we appreciate you. We love the fact that you are continuing on this independent journey, that you are a speaker box for the independent film community, that you've had this success in your life that I know will seriously be a springboard to the success for you and for others. Like that's a guarantee. Like I know that about you. So thank you for joining us once again, my friend, and to our filmmaking friends, fans, family, and followers out there. Be better, be creative, be engaged.
And thank you for listening. Papa Bear, Nick, Daril, talk to you again soon.
Yeah.
For sure.
Guys.
All right, boys.
All right, guys.
Take care. This was fun.
Peace. Yep.
Peace.
Laters.
Peace.